I've chosen to analyze the text Frankenstein, mainly chapter 16. So I'll be making a summary first. Frankenstein is a story of a German doctor who wishes to create the perfect life. He gathers some limbs from deceased humans to create his own human, and he succeeds in giving his human or creature life, but fails to reach his expectations to make perfect life in the sense of the perfect appearance. The creature was so ugly that it terrified everyone who saw it, which is why we get the perspective of different people, such as a blind man and other people who can see, to get the perspective of people with different uh, lackings or abilities. And yeah, so commenting on the narrative viewpoint of chapter 15 compared to chapter 16. Um, so in both chapters we have a first person perspective, but the viewpoint changes from Victor Frankenstein, who is the German doctor I spoke of in the summary, um, to the creature. And how does the perspective differ? The perspectives differ in the way that it shows how people react to the creature, and it shows how the creature is capable of learning. Um, the creature interacted with a blind man, and there was no problem. And then the kids of this blind man saw the creature, and they got scared and threatened the creature to make it leave. What is the point of the change? The point was to show how an ugly creature may have an inner beauty, because the creature wasn't actually evil or bad in any way. It's just that ugliness is uncomfortable to look at, and therefore it becomes um, something that we act upon. We don't like it, so we don't want it. But the text tries to teach us not to judge a book by its cover. Now, this blind old man, had a family which in the text is called the De Lacy family. And what significance does this family have to the creature? The De Lacy family is significant because their rejection of this creature intensifies the creature's loneliness and increases his bitterness against humans. This event marks the turning point of the creature's perception of society and sets the stage for the tragic events that follow. The family serves as a symbol of the potential of kindness and acceptance in humanity, but that their fear and prejudice highlight the darker side of the human nature. Now, few themes that I found in the text was ambition, isolation, appearance and prejudice, loss and grief, forbidden knowledge, or the Pandora's box, as you might call it, um, humanity and monstrosity. Um, is there message in the text? The message that I interpreted as was that there is this theoretical situation where man wants to play God, and what would and or could happen whenever a creature is given life by humans. Furthermore, it could be interpreted as where the human limits are reached in terms of scientific discoveries, and all technology has limits. Um, that we should not continue to attempt opening the Pandora's boxes that we have opened several times in history, which further reflects the curiosity of man and his disobedience to God. Um, is man a product of heritage or of environment? Man, in the text, indeed mankind, according to the text, indeed mankind is a product of nature and nurture. The creature's nature was very humane, but the nurture was decided the moment he became rejected from the society due to his appearance. And here's an example in the text: I was benevolent and good, misery made me a fiend. Is man born good or good, bad, or with the capacity for both? Give examples from the text. According to this text, man is born inherently good, but nurture can turn this man, the son of man, bad. An example would be: I felt emotions of gentleness and pleasure that had long appeared dead revive within me. Half surprised by the novelty of these sensations, I allowed myself to be borne away by them, and forgetting my solitude and deformity, dared to be happy. This this though contradicts the Christian theology that the text was written on, that man is born with original sin. Every monotheist of Abrahamic faith defines evil as sin. Christians believe that one is born with sin, and every son of Adam is born with sin, the sin of Adam, when he ate from the tree. Um, though in the Islamic tradition, every son of man is born good, i.e., sinless, but with nature to sin. That is not the inherited sin like Christianity proposes, but but that we have an inbuilt nature to sin, so that as the Prophet Muhammad said, every son of Adam is a sinner, and the best of sinners are those that repent. Allah also says in the Quran, chapter 6, verse 164, that He does not burden a soul with the sin of another. In Surah Al-Baqarah, the cow, the second chapter of the Quran, Allah also says that He does not burden a soul with more than what it can bear.